Hi, my name is Jacob Stoker, and today I'm going to be giving you an overview about my internship this summer in 2021 with the Springfield Cardinals. So, a quick overview of the Springfield Cardinals is they're located in Springfield, Missouri, which is 3 hours away from St. Louis, Missouri. They are a minor league affiliate of the St. Louis Cardinals, but they are in Double A. Double A is the second level down from the professional level. And what's funny about the Springfield Cardinals is they are owned directly by the St. Louis Cardinals, and they are one of the only minor league teams to have that privilege. So a lot of their logos, their merchandise, their giveaways, even most of their stadium design is based off of what St. Louis does and has a lot of similarities. The Springfield Cardinals were established in 2005 and have kicked every other minor league team that was in Springfield out as being the new main event to go see. So now I'll tell you a little bit more about what I do with the Springfield Cardinals, and fortunately I was able to land 2 jobs, let alone 1, for this summer. I was able to secure a game day ambassador job, which was a lot of guest relations, fan interaction, giveaways, everything customer service related in a nutshell, so to speak. But I was also able to land a completely different job with the production team, which was a mix between 2 positions of running 2 different cameras. Now, a little bit more about the Game Day Ambassador. They have 5 different jobs. One of the first jobs is called Guest Relations, and this is sitting at our Guest Relations desk for the game and answering questions people may have, answering concerns. We exchange giveaways from our promotional members. We have the promo club and promo seats, so if they buy those tickets, they are able to exchange them during that game later on and guarantee them receiving that. Guest Relations does a lot with going to different seats and party decks that we have sold out and making sure everything's okay, and also giving them, with our group tickets, group hats. So we give everyone group hats and we figure out how many people are sitting in that group, and we go up and interact with them as well. The promotional team we call promos. Basically, whenever the game starts, we have different promos between each inning up through the 5th inning. So what we do is we go and find fans and ask them if they want to be a part of the promos, and we have different games from flipping a shoe onto a table to musical chairs to trivia games to even matching dance moves from a video game. It's whatever you can imagine. Minor league bases a lot of their stuff off of entertainment, and they mix up the games every day. And promos goes out, finds people, asks if they want to participate. If they do, we have them sign waivers, and then we go and find them at their seats and bring them to where the promotion is at that time and give them a prize accordingly to how it ended up and which game it is. So the next one is the prize wheel, and the prize wheel is probably the hardest or most fulfilling job that we have. The prize wheel consists of 2 wheels. One is $1, one is $10. You spin as many times as you want, and you're guaranteed a prize each time. But what makes this job so tedious is that we get there earlier, 30 minutes before. We check inventory of the night before. We mark it down. We start our new paper. We stock items we need. If we think it's going to be a bigger audience game, we do almost double of what we normally do. We load up our dolly, we stock all the items, we set up the displays, we count our tickets, and then at the end of the night, we tear everything down, put everything back in inventory, and we go and check each receipt and tally up our final records that we can give back, so we make sure we are in check with giving away the right items to what shows up on our receipt total. Fun Zone is probably the simplest position we have, as Fun Zone is standing in front of the Kids Zone and making sure parents sign waivers before their kids so they can go in. There's no more than 8 kids, and if there is, and we have a line that they filter out every 8 minutes or so. But nonetheless, all you really have to do in this position is make parents sign a waiver and lift the chain up to let kids go play on the playground. So that one's pretty relaxing. Runner is the last one. The runner deals with a lot of small, tedious stuff. So if the wheel needs more items and they're unable to go get them, the runner will go down and grab what they need and bring it back up. The runner goes and tears down boxes and inventory rooms to make sure we don't get crowded. They go up and grab group hats for guest relations if they don't have time. They do all the etc. things. But on top of that, with all the other game day ambassador positions, we have a lot of miscellaneous tasks as a whole. So all the positions on giveaway days will go to a certain gate and give away our promotional items. They'll hand out bobbleheads. We just had Build-A-Bear. We've had jerseys and t-shirts. We've had hats, and you get to pick from 3. I mean, it's just handing out the giveaways at the gates. But we also help set up our visiting vendors. So we just got done with a vaccination clinic, and we help set up the tables and the tents that they need to have, bring in boxes from their cars, and help them make sure they're in the right spot, they got everything they need before we continue on with our job. Now, the production team member is a completely different position, like I said, from the game day ambassador. The production team member, I only was able to work 2 different positions, and those positions were running the center field camera and running the roaming camera. Now, the center field camera was probably the easiest, as we were set up in center field and we only had one job, and it was to mark the game footage that everyone would normally see on a broadcast. And once the ball was hit, we would follow the lead runner. So if there was a guy on second, if the ball was put in play, we'd immediately go to the guy on second base in that scenario. But if no one was on, we would follow the hitter through that whole scenario. The other one is the roaming camera. The roaming camera is the one where you see going up through the crowds, getting fans, doing our promotional items that I talked with game day ambassadors. We record them for the screen, and getting other game footage once the promotions are done. So when my shifts would end, we would be able to go and sit down in the first row and record some of the players from there to use on the broadcast that they would have it that day. So it really just depends on how the game was going, if you needed to, if there are even seats available to even sit by the front of the field. Roaming camera was probably the most enjoyable out of all of these, because you're getting to make fans' day by putting them on the screen and seeing them cheer to try and get your attention. So real quick, here's some goals for the internship, and did I achieve them? One of my goals was to broaden my area of expertise. Now, I jumped head over heels when I was able to secure this job, and honestly, when I got this job, I didn't really have that much experience in the specific job description that Game Day Ambassador had. I had more experience with production team, but I didn't hear from them until after. When I was attempting to get this job, I emailed a lot of people in the Cardinals office, which now that I'm looking back on it, may not have been such a good idea, to show that I just wanted to be here rather than work for them. But Regina, who is my Game Day Ambassador boss, was so nice to understand that I applied for different jobs trying to figure out my area of expertise, that she passed on my info to the production team member, Kent, and they were able to share my schedule and my days that I could work. They split me up. So that was really helpful, and it definitely helped broaden my expertise even more so, getting to work in a professional environment with cameras like I already have, but getting to do all customer service, which I haven't done before. Continue to step outside my comfort zone was the next one. I definitely got to achieve this through a lot of our promotional items. So I wasn't one to go up and just ask people to do something for me personally, so this was kind of a harder job when we were on promos to ask somebody, hey, would you mind doing one of our promotional games with us? Another one would be t-shirt toss. That was getting up in front of everybody and purposely drawing attention to myself when I'm not one for that. But in the end, when we got into those environments, it was amazing seeing all the fans cheer. They didn't know who you are, and they weren't there for me. They were there for the t-shirt I had. So it really changed my perspective on stuff like that I'm performing this business. They want that business. Why not make it as enjoyable as possible for them? And also, I was able to see if this is the career I wanted to be a part of. I didn't know anything about the gift services, like I've mentioned, but I was able to really enjoy my time being here and being involved with guest services and the production team as well. And I was able to really narrow it down to these two as what the career choice I wanted to be in. Now, as a quick reflection, some of my biggest takeaways is, like I just said, I know my career of choice. I'm narrowing it down to these two, so this experience really helped me to get into a professional environment and know what path I wanted to follow. I was able to realize that doing the small things goes a long way. So whether it was just your relationship with your boss, or just be able to enhance the fan experience by doing the small things as well, where it's greeting them a certain way, or just answering everything with a smile or smiling and saying thank you, handing a giveaway. Those small things went a long way and just helps fan experience and relationships in a big way. And work can still be fun. This job has been nothing but enjoyable for me, and we've had a lot of coworkers and bosses that have loved baseball and loved to laugh and loved to make work fun. And that was a great experience for me, with this being my first professional job, that we were able to have so much fun and still get the work we needed to done in the process. So what growth did I have? I was able to handle customers and fans in a better light without being so in a shell personality-wise. So I was able to go up, have better success with greeting people with promos, talking to people at the gates, making the small talk, saying welcome to the ballpark. All of that area was really helpful in being able to successfully complete my job. I was able to have a better work ethic, and I think a lot of that was due to the enjoyment I had while being on shift, that I really wanted to get this stuff done just to make the experience and make my time with my coworkers even better. And I had a growth of loving working in sports. So I know I definitely want to be in a sports environment. The growth I had here just made my love for baseball get even stronger. This experience was one of a kind, and I absolutely loved my time down here. But if I could say anything to my younger self, I was going to say this will turn out so much better than expected. And I had spent 4 months in the process reaching out to Springfield Cardinals and keeping up the communication through email, just to say, hey, remember my name, I want to work for you. And it turned out amazing in the end. This was way worth the process to see it through. This was absolutely amazing, and I couldn't have asked for anything more with my time with the Springfield Cardinals. My advice for you guys real quick would be, don't be afraid to try something completely new. Now, the professional level was already new in itself, but the game day ambassador position with customer service and guest relations was already a completely new area for me. Production team was somewhat new, but having both of those things and just jumping right in with the experience I had already was worthwhile. They explained everything, so I wasn't left in the dark. So even though I didn't have that professional level experience, they still gave me the chance and trained me on the spot to where it was no different from what I've already done. And I would say internships and volunteering go a long way, that having this experience, whether it's anything you can get, and building the relationships and having the recommendation letters from your bosses goes a long way. This job has already helped me land an interview with a possible second job as soon as I get home from the summer, that this experience didn't go unnoticed already, even if it was just this, that anything and everything will help in your job search and your future career choices. For current students, set a goal, destination, or job and do everything you can to achieve it. Through resumes, through LinkedIn, through communication on emails, everything helps and everything goes noticed. No goal is unachievable. I thought Springfield Cardinals was a huge leap for me personally, and that there wasn't going to be any chance with the experience I had previously to get this job, and through the communication it worked. So I can't stress enough about emailing and keeping up that constant communication. For the program, continue to push experience over classwork. This time down here was amazing, and like you said, Dr. Beleska, that we'd rather have the experience over the classwork because it's real life applicable, and there's more in experience that you can teach from a book. And I take that wholeheartedly, especially with this class itself, and that the resumes and LinkedIn continue to help, as I just said, as my advice for current students, that those are amazing and help tenfold. So that was my presentation about being with the Springfield Cardinals this summer. I hope it enlightened you. It gave you a little glimpse onto what the Springfield Cardinals are all about and what we do. I can't say enough about my time down here. Saying goodbye to all my coworkers is tough already. But if you have any questions, I put my link to my LinkedIn in the conclusion tab, and feel free to contact me and ask any more questions. So thank you.